I gave 4 YouTubers this assignment. Take the book and quill from the chest, write one word as your answer, sign it with your name, and shoot it out using the dropper. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, maybe not so much. If this took place in a small, blank room, then yes, it would be really simple. Just put any word in the book and do as you're told. But what if I expanded the room and made it look like a giant puzzle? Would you still put any word in the book, or would you try to look for clues? This is the dilemma that these 4 YouTubers had to face. This entire process was done anonymously, which meant that they couldn't mention this to anyone, including the other participants. Not that it would be an issue, because they didn't even know who the other participants were. All they were told was that they were competing against other players. One by one, I put them in this giant room that looks like a puzzle. Each contestant got an unlimited amount of time to complete an identical assignment, so as long as they remained in adventure mode, they could do whatever they wanted. They could go have lunch, they could sleep on it, or they could even refused to give an answer. Now, thankfully, none of them gave up and eventually completed the task. I didn't tell them whether they were right or wrong. Instead, I gathered all 4 of them in that same room with completely blank skins, and the real experiment began. Everybody here has done this escape room or this puzzle or whatever you want to call it. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna give each one of you time to explain your thought process and why you gave your answer. And the first person I want to unmute is Anonymous 3628286166 Unmute and say your name out loud.
My real name?
Oh.
I'm Branzy.
Step forward, Branzy.
It's me. Okay, I don't like going first.
Put your head on.
All right. Yep, that's my head.
Bro!
There we go.
Show us your thought process and why you gave the answer hearts, all capital.
As you can see over here in the old F3B mode, we got an H behind this wall. So followed by that, when you play the note behind...
You have this note?
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's a B flat. When you take that down a half step based off of this arrow, you get an A. So there's your H and your A. 3 pillars here clearly signify an E, obviously. Then when you stand on this block right here and you look up, you can see a T in the sky off of the blocks up there. No problems whatsoever so far. And then when we look at this sign, we see that raid is not capitalized, although most of the other nouns within the signs are. So there's your R. I don't remember the T and the S, but trust me.
You literally just did the T, bro.
Yes, the T. I don't remember the S. Oh, it was snow. See how snow is capitalized? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Interesting. Well, thank you for telling us your answer. You can go ahead and mute up again.
Yeah, just let me know when I win.
Oh, okay. Okay, the next person to unmute is Anonymous 17373929467 Go ahead and
So
state.
it's me, Recrap.
Yo, Recrap, step forward. Step forward.
It is I.
I just want to mention that Branzy, his sole goal was to beat Recrap in case he was participating in this room. That's literally all he was doing. Give us your thought process and your answer.
I'll let the viewers decide who won. So I answered Piglin. The reason I answered Piglin started at this centerpiece. There's 4 saplings. All 4 don't match up with their color. So like the oak is over there. It's not in this corner like it should be. The only one that matches the sapling with the correct block is this crimson and the crimson log that's in this corner. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Then we have this series of cauldrons and this blue stained pane in the middle, signifying the nether portal. Boosfer did a troll like this the other day where he had 4 cauldrons and you fill them all up with lava. You enter the nether. This is how you make the nether portal. So I was like, okay. Then I did some researching on Boosfer's videos and his previous puzzles. If he makes like a mistake in the signs, like even if it's just like uncapitalized or no period, that often means something. But the thing that stood out to me, he says, until some help gets here. The help is referencing archers, swordsmen, golems, and snow, all of which are capitalized except swordsman. That's gotta mean something for sure. What does that mean? There's swordsmen in the nether, but there's 3 kinds of swordsmen in the nether. Piglins, zombified piglins, and wither skeletons. And I was like, okay, how do I rule one of those out? I can't remember how I ruled them out, but I do know that I found the emerald block over here. I heard it with the note block, and I was like, okay, so there's emerald, gold, netherite, diamond, okay? Those correlate like with the arrows. Gold for yellow, diamond for blue, emerald for green, so the netherite is for red. I never found out what the button did, H did over here, as well as the cyan terracotta piece that's like behind here. I just decided to ignore them, so I went with Piglin. I can't remember why I picked Piglin. Oh wait,
it was 1 word.
Zombified Piglin is 2 words, and it's a 1-word answer. I think that's how.
Okay, well, thank you for explaining. You can go ahead and mute up again. The next person to unmute is Anonymous 1920847 Go ahead and state your name. What is happening right now? Wait, is this the guy that's been flying around lagging? I'm scared.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
First off, you are never going to be able to tell who I am. That's because I can't reveal my identity. So, I'm turning this off.
Bro, I'm turning this off.
Yo, Farah, there, take your head and tell us your thought process and your answer, since you were like the most try-hard out of all of these guys.
My original answer was ocean. I wasn't really paying attention yet. That was kind of a dumb answer. So I decided to take another look. The one real thing that struck me as off was this statement right here. Do not blow. What do you blow out? A candle. Perfectly enough, there's a candle back here. I ended up noticing little item frames. So I correlated that with the 5 blocks up there. 5 blocks locate you in 5 different positions down below. If you drop down exactly on the coordinates of the 5 blocks down onto the room and you look at the candle, you'll see that this little T shape right here crosses out dots of the H.
Oh, true. You
as
made like an entire
picture.
thing.
In that picture that I just sent in the chat. But that's only half of the puzzle. You have those 5 pieces, but you have to manipulate them in some way to draw a picture. So that's what I did. 4 of those blocks up there, when you drop down, they cross through the diagonal axis of one of these blocks in the center. One of them will cross through this way. Other 4 will cross through using this terracotta, which that cyan terracotta is signaling. Now, that also connects to this A-flat emerald block over here. Or if you place on the pedestal, it tells you what order to manipulate these little dots in, assuming that brown signals yellow, because there are some yellow shaded pixels in there. And if you manipulate those according to the green, red, blue, yellow signs up there, flipping them, you end up getting a pixelated picture of a villager. So that's my final answer.
You're actually changing your answer to villager. Yeah, thank you for your explanation. Last person, you can go ahead and unmute. Yeah?
I'm Terry Ryan. Hi. You put me at the end after I just heard the smartest things I've ever heard in the world. I have the worst answer.
Wait, what was your answer?
I said Shrieker. I kind of
Oh,
gave up.
yeah. You said Shrieker.
I gave up. So I jumped down here. I looked at all these. I noticed the fungus right here. And I looked at, is my mom seriously calling me? One sec. Anyways, the only one that works is the grass block and that crimson fungus. I also noticed the emerald block under the note block, so I figured that it had to do with the diamond, netherite, and gold, but I didn't know how at all, so that was sad. I figured out the capitalization. I noticed that, and I got D-U-A-G-S, spelled dwogs. I didn't know what that meant. I think it was good dust was the word that I unscrambled from that.
Good dust?
Then I pressed this a dozen times. Nothing happened. Then I went over here and I saw item frames with maps. And I thought, okay, this is it. It's going to be a genius move.
Oh, yeah. Everybody else also broke all of the item frames, by the way. You weren't the only one.
So I'm not a genius.
No, everybody else broke it as well.
Awesome. And I remembered, oh, I could press F5 and see outside. And that's how I found those item frames. And it spelled an H. Still had no idea what the hell was going on. At this point, I went into replay mod, went up into the sky, saw Skull Shrieker and said, screw it. And then I just said Shrieker.
All of the participants gave completely different answers, even though all of them had to solve the same exact puzzle. Any one of these answers could be correct, depending on how you approach the problem. But what if I told you that every answer is correct? I am gonna give you 5 minutes to figure out why all of these answers are correct. Terry Ryan seems confused.
I'm not going to be any help. I don't know.
Well, I do know that when I submitted my answer, he said, that's close enough. Did he say that to any of you guys?
No.
Out of the 4 YouTubers, Rekrap was showing the most initiative, whilst Branzy was assisting him, Terrain's brain was still in pain,
Is this the right thing to do? Am I doing the right thing right now?
and Parrot was off in his own world. 1 minute passed, and they finally started asking some good questions.
Is Parrot's ocean correct, or is his villager correct, or are they both correct?
Boosfer.
We
Tell
need to
us.
clarify, Boosfer.
Now, this is a social experiment, and I didn't want to interfere too much, so I decided to twerk a little and never gave them an answer.
So yesterday I got a message on my RecRap2 account from one of the anonymous people saying like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, I assume you're Boosfer. And they were like, no, I'm Freddy, Boosfer's developer. And I was like, oh, okay. And he asked me questions about like what I submitted my answer with. And I was like, oh, wait a second. I don't think Boosfer told anybody else.
Parrot, I told you not to do that! Rekrap, why are you so gullible? Parrot, there's no way you did that. Turns out that Parrot had sent Rekrap a message asking about the puzzle, which was the only rule I had set for them. One rule, and he broke it. However, we just moved on, and after a couple more minutes, the puzzle finally started to make sense to them. 1 minute, 58 seconds.
I feel like just any answer is correct then. Boosfer, his latest video was just, there is no answer to this escape room. So this one is probably just the opposite. And every answer is.
How is everything right? How does that make any sense?
I really liked my answer though.
I like Terry Ryan's answer.
I won't give the full story because we don't have that much time, but my dad was just screaming and saying, "We gotta go," and I just said shrieker.
You have to give me a final answer in 55 seconds.
Well, my reasoning for why all the answers work is that any answer works in this escape room because his latest video, no answer works. That's my final answer.
A collective final answer.
Oh, what do you guys think?
There's a reason for, and I bet you can come to that conclusion from stuff in this room.
Tetris.
With 15 seconds left on the timer, I threw them a curveball that eliminated their current theory, and they were completely lost. I'm pausing the time. You still have 15 seconds, but correction. Parrot's Ocean was correct, but Villager was incorrect.
Villager
Wait,
was
what?
correct?
No, that changes the game.
That does.
Frick. Oh, frick. That screws up my whole theory. No.
Ocean
They have
was
nothing
correct.
to correlate with like the words unless you like.
Time is up, guys. Yeah, come here and give me your collective answer.
You ruined my collective answer in the last 15 seconds. So
Give me a collective answer, guys.
Villager is wrong because it's connected with the raid and it says do not blow. So it's saying do not do anything with the raid. Anything with the raid is incorrect. But everything else works because all of our other answers worked. Boom.
You're confident about that.
No.
That's good because it's so incorrect.
Maybe if you're confident in your answer.
No,
then it's-
no. Okay, guys, I'm gonna explain to you what kind of social experiment you've been a part of right now.
It's been a social experiment.
I invited all of you to the escape room and I gave you all the same task. Take the book from the chest, write one word as your answer, put it in the dropper after you signed it, click the button. That was your task. That was the puzzle. Everything else in this room is just a decoration, but your brain has a cognitive bias and instantly decided to take into consideration
Actually-
everything in this room.
Your brain has a cognitive bias that expected us to do this. But if I've been fooling you this whole time, I knew the puzzle from step one.
Bro, you're embarrassing yourself. I never said that everything in this room was a puzzle. I only stated what you have to do. I never said there was any twist. You guys even asked me, where do I start? I never said anything. You guys decided...
Sorry, I'm just shocked.
None of you decided to just type anything in the book and put it in because that's what I told you to do. All of you decided to start looking around because all of you wanted to win and all of you tried your best. But technically you all got it correct because you all did it in the end. And I didn't take the
So
time.
any answer would have worked.
I never said that it has to be a specific word. I just said you had to
So
type
then
in
why
one
is
word.
Villager wrong?
Because he never typed it in the book. It was never in a book. Ocean was in a book.
Oh.
So you guys technically were working as a team this entire time, but you failed. And you now owe me $1 million. Thank you.
That is just so wrong.
This experiment was never about individual puzzle solving skills. This experiment was meant to showcase that the human mind is selective, and as long as there is something peculiar to catch your attention, you will always overthink. So maybe, just maybe, you can choose the simple solution today and give your brain a break. Take care of yourself.